Sylvester Stallone has offered a candid response regarding the possibility of reprising his role as John Rambo in another Rambo movie, humorously asking, "What am I fighting? Arthritis?" During a Q&A session at the Toronto International Film Festival while promoting his upcoming documentary Sly, Stallone indicated that he's ready to move on from the character. He acknowledged that there have been calls for him to do another Rambo movie, but at 77 years old, he jokingly posed the question, "What am I fighting for? Arthritis?" It appears that Stallone may have retired the character for good, but there is still hope with Quentin Tarantino's plans for the franchise. Now, before we get into it, we must have a quick recap of where we stand right now with the franchises. First Blood from 1982 is all about John Rambo, a Vietnam vet, trying to get used to his life as a regular guy after the war. He ends up in a small town where the local sheriff and his crew give him a hard time. Rambo's war memories make him snap and he goes on the run. They launch a big manhunt for him, but his old army boss, Colonel Trotman, tries to talk sense into him. Rambo won't give in until Trotman finally convinces him to surrender. From 1985, Rambo has offered a deal. He can get his freedom if he goes back to Vietnam to rescue American POWs. He finds out there are still prisoners in a camp he knows well, so he takes matters into his own hands and goes on a one-man mission to set them free. Rambo III from 1988 has Rambo heading to Afghanistan to help the Mujahideen fight against the Soviets. Trouble brews as Troutman gets captured by the Soviets, leading to a big rescue operation where Rambo and the Mujahideen take on the Russian forces. In 2008, our guy Rambo is living in Thailand and not looking for trouble. But trouble finds him when he reluctantly helps some missionaries on a humanitarian mission to Burma. When those missionaries get nabbed by the Burmese army, Rambo springs into action, leading to a brutal battle against the Burmese army. Finally, Rambo Last Blood from 2019 has Rambo chilling out on his ranch near the Mexican border. But when his niece gets snatched up by a nasty cartel, he goes on full vengeance mode to rescue her, resulting in a seriously intense showdown with the cartel. Now, let's address the big question. Can there be a Rambo without Sly? Well, it seems that Sylvester Stallone might be hanging up his boots as John Rambo for good, and this isn't the first time that he's hinted at it. Even before the production of Rambo Last Blood, Stallone has mentioned stepping away from the character, but this time it feels more definitive. At 77 years old, the idea of him returning as an action-packed former Green Beret might start pushing the boundaries of believability. But Stallone isn't saying goodbye to the Rambo universe entirely. He's been quite vocal about his plans for a Rambo Prequel series set during the Vietnam War. In this series, John Rambo would be portrayed as an outgoing football captain whose experiences in the war transformed him into the brooding, solitary warrior fans know and love. With this approach, Stallone could smoothly pass the torch to a new actor while remaining closely involved in the project's development. Another intriguing possibility is taking inspiration from Quentin Tarantino's playbook and considering a complete series reboot based on the original novel. Tarantino even had someone in mind, Adam Driver from Star Wars, as his ideal John Rambo, with Kurt Russell as the sheriff Rambo goes up against. While it's unlikely that Tarantino himself will take on such a project, the concept holds promise and another ambitious filmmaker might step in to make it happen. Regardless of the direction taken, it looks like Stallone's time as the face of the Rambo franchise has likely come to an end. Let's talk about how the Rambo movies did at the box office, because much of the sequel's chances depend on the performance of the previous movies. It all kicked off with First Blood in 1982, which started at a budget of $15 million. It did really well, making $47,212,904 in the United States and an impressive $78 million internationally. So in total, it raked in a cool $125 million plus worldwide. Then came Rambo First Blood 2 in 1985 with a budget of $25 million. This one was a real blockbuster, earning a whopping $150 million plus in the United States and $149 million plus internationally. That's a massive global box office revenue of $300 million plus. In 1988, Rambo III arrived with a bigger budget of $58 million. While it didn't quite match the success of the previous one, it still did alright, making $53+ million in the United States and $135 million internationally. That adds up to a worldwide total of $189 million+. Rambo in 2008 had a $50 million budget and earned $42+ million in the United States and $70 million+ internationally. So it brought in a total of $113+ million worldwide. Finally, Rambo Last Blood came out in 2019, also with a budget of $50 million. It made $44+ million in the United States and $46 million+ internationally, totaling $91+ million worldwide. So when you add it all up, the Rambo film series had a combined budget of $198 million and ended up with a nice $339 million in the United States, $480 million internationally, and a whopping worldwide box office revenue of $819+ million. Now let's talk about what people thought of these movies. Some critics loved First Blood in 1982, giving it an 86% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes from 49 reviews, and it scored 61 on Metacritic based on 15 reviews. Rambo First Blood Part 2 in 1985 had mixed reviews with a 33% rating on Rotten Tomatoes from 45 reviews and a Metacritic score of 47 based on 15 reviews. Rambo III from 1988 got a 41% rating on Rotten Tomatoes from 37 reviews and a Metacritic score of 36 based on 15 reviews. People also liked Rambo from 2008, which got a 37% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes based on 153 reviews, a Metacritic score of 46 based on 26 reviews, and an impressive cinema score of A-. Rambo Last Blood from 2019, however, received the lowest critical acclaim, with a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes from 174 reviews, a Metacritic score of 26 based on 31 reviews, and a cinema score of B. But hey, despite what critics say, the Rambo movies have a dedicated fan base that has stuck around for years. But that's not the only thing happening with the franchise. In May 2013, Original Entertainment struck a deal with Millennium Films to create Bollywood versions of 5 popular Hollywood movies, including First Blood, The Expendables, 16 Blocks, 88 Minutes, and Brooklyn's Finest. They plan to kick off production for the Indian versions of First Blood and The Expendables by the end of that year. Fast forward to early 2016, and Siddharth Anand was announced as the director of the project. The film was set to be co-produced by Anand, Daljit DJ Parmar, Samir Gupta, Hunt Lowry, Saurabh Gupta, and Gulzar Inder Chahal. The focus was on remaking First Blood with a storyline that would see the last surviving member of an elite Indian armed forces unit returning home to a different kind of battle. This would lead Rambo into a challenging terrain of the Himalayas, where he would unleash chaos and destruction. In May 2017, Tiger Shroff was cast in the role of Rambo, and production was initially slated for the late 2018 release. However, by October 2017, the project had been put on hold as Shroff and Anand had other commitments to fulfill in the meantime. The film was originally scheduled for release in October 2020, and it was envisioned that Tiger Shroff would star in Hindi remakes of all 5 films in the Rambo franchise. This marks the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure that you like and share it. Let us know your opinions in the comment section and make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.